Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm late. I am working on this sewing room because, well, as we've already figured out, I may or may not have just a little hoarding problem when it comes to crafts and sewing supplies and fabric and buttons and patterns. And am I leaving anything out? Yeah. And notions in general, right? So I'm sorry for this glare. I just realized, the sun hasn't been out all day, but today, right now, it just came out so that it could have lots of glare on my glasses. Yeah, go figure. So we actually have quite a bit to cover today. So let me start with the basics. There were a couple things I found at Goodwill that I didn't show you guys because they were just one thing. I didn't even make Goodwill videos. So here's one. It is a Dritz ham. Now, very corny joke, but here in New Jersey, we have something called pork roll. In other parts of the country, it is called Taylor ham. And this is a Taylor's ham. So in New Jersey, it is officially a pork roll. And I found this at Goodwill. And, I already have one, which I also found at Goodwill years ago. So like 5 years ago, I found one at Goodwill, and then I just found another one at Goodwill. But I feel like they're one of those things that, like, why not have two? It was like $3.99. When I took it up to the counter, the woman goes, "What is that?" Well, none of us could figure it out. And I said, "It's for when you're ironing a sleeve, you put the sleeve around it and then you can iron." I said, "When you're sewing or just when you're ironing?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah." So, but we all understand the demise of sewing, right? And then another Goodwill find that I will show you guys really quick was this. It's about 4 yards of this, and it's just more flannel. It was just there. And as usual, it was like $4.49, but it's like 4 yards. Whereas I've gotten other pieces that were not even a yard and they were also $4.49. So, go figure with the Goodwill pricing, but very cute, right? I want to show you a quick little thing that I just did because I think it's kind of a cool hack. So I had this kind of very old, like organizer tray thing. And the lid broke ages ago. It had like a lid on it that cracked. It was plastic. So just a couple minutes ago, I took the time. I don't know how well you guys can see the variations. These are all my white fabrics, my shirtings, my broadcloths, stuff that you don't want to get dirty, right? So I took this unused thing and I measured out all my shirtings. And I put them in here and kind of stored them away so they will not get dirty. So I thought that was, a little brilliant of me because I have my moments, Sometimes I'm really bright and other times I'm pushing on a door that says pull. That's basically who I am, right? So, all right. So before we get into the fabric, let's talk about some pattern. I mean, not the fabric, the buttons. Let me talk about some patterns. All right, so I was moving stuff around in the storage unit. Specifically, I was consolidating all the boxes that had children's patterns in them because I need to someday deal with these children's patterns, but today's not the day. And I found a bunch of patterns that somehow had gotten mixed in with the children's, but they weren't children's. So they are a lot of men's patterns, a lot of 80s patterns, but there were a couple real gems. So first of all, this is a late 80s pattern. I'm keeping it for myself. It has no instructions. What I like about it was never cut. And I'm really, really liking this skirt. It's just a very basic skirt. And then this is actually the vest, but they're showing it as a shirt, but it's a cute shirt pattern. It's a nice sleeveless shirt pattern. I'm keeping that for myself. It's McCall's. So we know, yes, there's no line drawings because it's McCall's and they're always cheapskating us on that. So this pattern, I'm sorry, guys, I can't take it out of the plastic. It's too fragile. But can you see it? Let me see if I can get it so that it's not. There we go. And believe it or not, it's from 1953. I found the copyright on it. It's very fragile. You can see the top of it's crumbling. It is a dress, and they are literally calling it a Jiffy dress. And I'm like, is this the first Simplicity Jiffy pattern? Could it be 1953? The main dress pieces were cut, but the sash and the bow pieces were never used. I guess she just did a regular belt with it or something. So oh, and you know what else? See this placket piece here? This was never cut. So she must have done this one, and just belted it. But good find. I was very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. I also found this. It's a quick sew pattern. It's been cut, but here's the thing. This over here, wait, where am I going? This here, this is basically what I wear to bed every night. And this was cut to an extra large. So perfect for me. And there's the line drawings if you guys were interested. So that's going into my collection because clearly I don't have enough patterns. Right. I know. We shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. Okay. And then I will take these out of the plastic because they're fragile, but they're not so bad. So hidden in there were these. They are two of the original vintage Barbie advanced patterns. They're from 1961, as you can see on the bottom. See that on the bottom? There's the listing. Here's the listing of what's in them. So, interesting, very interesting, right? Interesting patterns. Oh, and I don't know which they go into. So I'll figure that out in a minute. I'll do that later after we're off the air, as they say. And there's just a couple more that I found that I thought, well, these are cool. So actually this one here is also staying in my collection. All right, so we have this one. This was uncut, factory folded. Cute, huh? It's for this cloth doll and her clothes, and she doesn't even have a name. She's just stuffed doll with wardrobe. Yeah. This next one, by the way, is already in somebody's cart. I was thinking that I was going to have to show it to you and then mail it out tomorrow, but they haven't purchased it yet. But I'm not surprised it's in somebody's cart. It's pretty cool. If you're into chickens or roosters, and it's weird. It's not tissue. It's actually made of like a heavy paper. It's only got two sizes, small and large, for the patterns. And I think with small and large, it's really adult or child. It's not even like a legitimate small, large measurement. But I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it. And then, oh, this is interesting. Can you see what it says on the bottom there? That's right. It is an official Rainbow Bright baby mobile, right? That you can do in all these styles. By the way, no line drawings. But again, another one I found, never been cut, somehow ended up in with the kids' stuff. Now, when I was moving into the storage unit, my friend, very sweet, young sons, helped me move. And I think what happened is stuff started to kind of fall out. So they just kind of threw it into any box available. And then I never realized that these were hidden in this box that was for children's clothes. So here's a pattern I found. This is also going into my collection. It is a shirt dress. And if you haven't noticed by now, I love a shirt dress. So of course I needed another shirt dress pattern. But the thing about this one, it had been cut. It had been cut to the 22, which is nice. But I was like, you know what? I went and looked. It's not worth anything. Brand new, uncut. It's selling for $5. It's not worth anything. So yes, I have another shirt dress pattern. Oh, and in that was this. Don't know who the note was to or why, but can you guys read it? I'm trying to get it someplace where, come on, focus. I hate when it doesn't focus. Basically, it's directions. It's just, directions and a little note, but it says mom. Can you guys read it? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Isn't that cute? No idea what it's about, but this was the back. So you know me, I keep things that I find in patterns. So one more pattern. This one's kind of funny. And then we'll get into the buttons because the buttons are going to be a long process. I found this vintage pattern. Look familiar? That's because it was a reissue. I mean, look at that. How crazy is that? I feel like Stephanie Canada. Speaking of, she did a new video. I put the link below. She made a Jumanji skirt, then a Jumanji dress. It was a pretty funny video. Here's the original line drawings. Gorgeous, right? Here's the line drawings from Modern Simplicity. The interesting thing is can you guys see this down here? If you look at that, right? But then you look at this, it's reversed. So I thought that was kind of weird that whoever had it reverse the image somehow. Oh, I'm trying to pick this up. Okay. So yeah. So I officially feel like Stephanie Canada. This is the skirt's the only part of this cut. It's a size 12. It doesn't fit me, but I'm keeping it purely because of this. It's going to go into the permanent collection, which I will show you guys at some point in time. I just haven't gotten there yet. So buttons. I bought most of these buttons. I did one lot from Etsy, which was fairly small, and I kind of overpaid for it. And then I bought one lot off of Poshmark. The woman that I bought the lot off of Poshmark from was so kind. She sent me extra goodies, including probably handmade. Can you see what it is? It's a bag, instead of disposable bags, it's a Christmas bag. And I thought that was very sweet of her. And she also included with that this never used book, which I don't know what I'm going to do with. It's called Glam My Watch. If you look at it closely, there's actually, let me see if I can get here we go. Can you guys see? There's an actual little watch in there. And then there's all these different designs in it for all kinds of stuff. You can do it as a charm bracelet. Like here's the one, it's a charm bracelet, right? Stuff like that. But I thought that was super sweet. I was very touched to get that. That's so nice to send me some extra stuff. Granted, I mean, maybe she sent it to me because she couldn't sell it, but whatever. I still thought it was a very nice idea. All right, so buttons. Now, I have removed the stuff that they're doubles just to get us through this because it's going to be a lot of white buttons, which are kind of boring. Let's face it. They're just, white shirt buttons. But then there are in here some absolutely fabulous buttons. I am going to redo the button board. I've already started it because there was some stuff in here that the actual packaging for the button was so cool that I was like, oh yeah, this has to go on the button board. So the button board, we will have a new button collage by next week. I will be more than happy to show it to you. I will be doing another show next week because after all this button madness, I saw this other listing on Poshmark, which was a hat box full of sewing supplies, and I could see patterns in it, everything. And I was like, all right, I know I have a problem. My name is Sibel. I'm addicted to sewing and crafting supplies. What am I going to do? I mean, it is sad. You walk into my house, right? That looks totally normal. And then you get into this room, the room of shame. And it's like on this episode of Hoarders. Yeah, it's kind of sad. All right, so let's just start with a random button. There we go. One single silver button, metallic, not much going on. Can you see? This is, sorry, I'm going to have to try and, there we go. These are so boring. So many of them are just on white cards, which is like, meh. One single gold button, white shirt buttons, lots and lots of them. Yeah, you know what? This is going to be hard. Hold on for 1 minute, guys. I'm going to pull this one shade and try and get some of this glare to go away. Hold on. Stepping on stuff. See if that's any better. Yeah. Come see, come say, right? Yes or no? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, and here we go. Can you see how beautiful the Lansing buttons? I mean, look at how pretty the packaging is. Do I have one from Lansing? I think I do, but I might need another. More white shirt buttons. At least a little more interesting. Can you see the deco vibes on the sides? But then you have the modern stuff like this, and it's like white with a white button. No fun at all. Is that going to help it focus? I'm trying to figure out. probably a better way to do this. I love these. There's several of these kinds of buttons in different colors in here. These, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, how cool is that? Right? Then we have these La Petite buttons. Most of these buttons were modern. She did say it was a mix of modern and vintage. The woman from Etsy did say they were vintage, and when I got them, there weren't that many vintage ones, to tell you the truth. They were vintage in that they were more than 20 years old. Were they like real vintage? Meh, right? You know, like kinda, you know. These were very beautiful. I don't know how well you guys can see them. They're not white. They are the palest pink. So pretty. Okay, that seems to be a little bit better. Just some silver. These look like earrings, but they're buttons. But then there was stuff like this. Look at how cool they are. Just on a regular card, which means they're definitely old, because you normally, you find them on the company's card, but when they're like this, they may have been purchased at a place where you were buying them in bulk. One single button survives. Yeah, this poor guy. It's really pretty yellow buttons, very pale yellow. I'm actually thinking, bear with me, guys. What if I did this? Can you see them better? Like I can't see you now, but can you see the buttons better? And nobody's talking, so I don't know. I don't know if this is better or worse. Yeah, I think this is better. That's all right. You don't need to see me. And again, with the buttons just on a plain card, probably bought in bulk from someplace. And some lovely little metallic buttons from Le Chic. A lot of buttons from Le Chic. They must be a huge button company, because there's an awful lot of buttons from them in here. Some more metallic buttons. More metallic buttons. I had a couple of these. Again, unfortunately, some of these do really just look like earrings to me, but more metallic buttons. And then I really do love these, where they're just no name, no nothing, just a bunch of buttons in this particular color. Some really beautiful blue. These are so pretty, aren't they? They're so shiny. And I love, if you look at them closely, they kind of have a little floral design going on. Some basic white buttons, but if you look at them, they have a little bit of texture to them. There's a little bit of a design. It's subtle, but it's in there. And then these, yeah, superior quality. These buttons are the reason I bought the Etsy. Actually, no, these were Poshmark. These were the buttons that I was like, oh yeah, these are probably going on the board. I got to tell you, because I don't even know what I would make with those. There's only 4 of them, and look at these. These are like toggles. How cool though. And they're in a weird, like a Bakelite. You know how Bakelite had that kind of strange yellow tint to it? And then there's these. Now, there were, I think, 2 sets of these, but they're slightly different. One is like a tan, and the other one's more like a gray. Some orange buttons. Another 1 button on a card. You get that, unfortunately. It's okay. What are you going to do? Right? Oh, and then look at this. These are definitely going on the board. First of all, look at how cool the card is. And then also, I don't know if you can see how beautiful this green is. This green, see, to me, it looks lighter on the screen than it actually is. It's a beautiful dark green. Then there was these. Kind of a no-name. It looks like somebody cut off the tag. Cool design, though. And then there's only 2 of these, but I love the packaging. Definitely going on the board. Yeah, we got a lot going on the board this week. More lancing buttons. There's that beautiful design that they do. Just some basic yellow buttons. This is going to be the weirdest video. I can feel it. These are the buttons. We just saw the pink ones earlier. Here's the blue ones. I think there's another set in here that's green. Oh, these buttons. This is funny. I have these buttons, but smaller, and all of them are separate. I got them. They were just in a bin, like they came in a tin, like a cookie tin, but I have matching buttons to go with those. Then we have some just beautiful pearl pink Lamode buttons. And can you see they're kind of the shank style? Yeah, really pretty. Lots and lots of men's buttons I noticed too in this haul. You'll see what I mean. There's lots of just plain kind of brown. Here's another one. It's only 3 of them. The packaging was cut up. These were really cute, but again, these are just kind of men's buttons, but these might go on the board. We'll see. I mean, some buttons have to go on the board because the designs were just so amazing. These are kind of cool. Can you see the pattern? They have like kind of a strange kind of design to them. These, oh, there's 2 of these. The other one's over here. I have it over here because I was, didn't want to show it twice, but it's basically just one giant button. And I'm very excited about putting those 2 together. Lancing. These are the same as those other ones. Now, the other ones we saw were like a grayish brown color. These, I don't know if you can see them, but they're purple. Lots and lots of metallic buttons in this haul. Not really sure why, other than I do remember in the 90s, when we all had a family crest in the 90s, there was a lot of those. These are so weird looking. Can you see? They're not old. These are Supreme, I think, is a button company from the 80s, 70s, or 80s, but they have like little holes drilled in them. Yeah, kind of cool. Oh, look at these. Also, just buttons on cards, no name. Like this is literally a piece of corrugated, but so beautiful. Probably celluloid. I'm wondering if some of these older ones are celluloid, and that's why they kind of appear that way. Some more white shirt buttons. No fancy label. Pretty. And you know what? Very useful. Really big orange buttons. Not really my color, but kind of cool, right? Look how big that is. And then we have some more orange buttons. More shirt buttons, but the packaging is cool. I love the fact they use the word Oriental. One of those words you never really hear anymore. Here we go. More just pearl. Turn them right side up. Just more shirt buttons, but again, very useful. Oh, these buttons. I wish there were a bunch more of these. Can you guys see that design? Look at how cool that design is. And they're the coolest green. They're definitely brighter than, well, actually, maybe they're darker than they're appearing, but I love that design. But there was only 2 of them. More white shirt buttons. Oh, look at these. I wish all 4 of these were here. I don't know what I would put them on, but I just adore them. But there's only 2. Who knows? I might try and see if some of these buttons, if I have like mates somewhere, like like the button that's missing, I bought somewhere in a tin of buttons. I mean, because these were all commercially produced buttons. Somebody might have them. Oh, there we go. We had the other one at the beginning that was one of these. More men's buttons, men's coat buttons, things like that. Whoop! The button mountain is starting to fall over. So here's what I was talking about. There's a couple of them right here. This one is like a grayish color. This one's more like a brownish, almost a burgundy color. But then we also have, oh no, I already showed it to you. That's right, the tan one. Oh, this is another one. There's only one of these buttons. How cool is that button, right? Oh, so cool. Oh, and then this, it's really funny to me that a lot of the buttons say that they're washable, which I guess was a thing as laundry was becoming more, I don't know, more of a thing. Superior buttons. Here's another one, washable. Look how cute these are. It's missing one, but oh, here we go. Here's another set that I'm like, These will probably go on the board because I would love to put them on something, but how fabulous are these buttons? Oh, and then we have more of these purple. Now these are the larger ones. There were a couple of situations like this where there was like 4 of the small ones and then 2 of the larger ones, which normally means it's a suit set. And then, oh, look at these. These are really cute too. See, and this is why I love buttons, because I can sit here in the afternoon on a Sunday and show strangers on the internet buttons, and somebody's probably watching me. According to the counter, there's like 6 people watching, right? Yeah, because I mean, what else do you do with your Saturday afternoon? Oh, these are one of my favorites. Can you see this? It's fake snakeskin. And they must be older because they were only 10 cents. So I'm thinking that's 1950s, but cool. Very cool. And then Lucky. I've had a couple of these, got a couple sets of things by Lucky. More white buttons. More buttons on cards, but can you see that cool design? And again, just a piece of cardboard, nothing to it. It's not, I'm assuming, here's another one. I'm assuming these were purchased and, you know, somebody else put them on cards later. Because you used to be able to do that. You could just go into a store and you could buy like, here we go, one sad single little button on a card. Oh, a couple little buttons on a card. The funny thing is like you look at these and I'm thinking like how sad the packaging is. Just these white buttons. But let's be honest. How sad are buttons now? Remember when buttons were fascinating and like really cool looking, and now every button is pretty much the same. Cool. I have 2 sets of these. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Can you see the design? It's like it's pinched. Love it. There's 2 of those. These are wood look, which I thought was totally really cool, actually. They really look like wood when you're looking straight at them. Of course, they're not. There's some kind of plastic. And again, more with the metallic buttons. We love metallic buttons. And then there's more of these over here on a different card. So I'm going to put them together, give them a home. Some basic white pearly buttons, very ladylike. Here we go. Are these guaranteed washable? Everything's guaranteed washable. This is Le Chic too, so this must be older. Oh, this was one I wanted to show you. This was really cool. It has a way of measuring your buttons on the back. Not great. I thought that was great. None of these have anything else like that. That's the only set that has that. Oh, and these. I wish there were more of these too. I love this color. Absolutely gorgeous. Then more just basic men's shirt buttons. More metallic buttons. Kind of looks like Julius Caesar there. These really just pretty burgundy buttons. More basic men's coat buttons. Metallic buttons. I think there's another, there's another set of these over there too. So a lot of duplicates, maybe only one button is off them. So that's kind of interesting to me because I'm curious what happened to the other buttons, right? Pretty. Aren't these pretty? And I'm not a brown person and these are still pretty. Now, the next set though. Can you guys see this red? It's so pretty, but there's only 2 of them on this card. Figures, right? These also, I don't know how well you guys can see. There's like an actual design. There's like a slant on these. Some pretty blue buttons, some blouse buttons, very pretty. Those I'll probably use actually because those are very basic color. Oh, here we go. How gorgeous are these? I just love these. And it's weird. They have some kind of measurement thing on the back, but they're all the same size. Because I have seen this kind of thing where they're measuring out the different sizes of buttons, but the button salesman used to carry them around with them. Oh, only one of these too. It's just like a flat kind of, you know, like gray button, but it's still pretty. And then we have these. And some more shirt buttons. The mountain of buttons is falling over. Some more metallics. And then only 2 of these. How cute are they? They're like a crystal button. They're so pretty. But only 2 of them. And then we have these, which I'm not sure. No, you know, it's weird. They look like they're the same, but they're not. One is a 30x18, and this one is a 30x20. So I'm not really sure what, or not 30, 300. I don't know what that, we weren't using centimeters back then, so I don't know. Oh, and this one is a 30 or 300x25. So I'm not sure what the measurement was because we didn't use centimeters back then, right? It would have been inches, and they're obviously not 20, 25 or 30 inches. We had one very cool button in here, just in its own little packet. And then also, and this was from the Poshmark seller, I'm going to have to take them out of the plastic because they're hard to see anyway, but they are tiny little buttons, and one is a strawberry. One is a birdhouse. And this one is, I believe it's a birdhouse. I know what it looks like. I thought the same thing when I looked at it. You horrible people. Oh, I'm telling you. Dirty minds. Oh, it's starting to rain. Great, because that's what I need. And now my dog's in here. A rabbit. Another birdhouse. And I don't know what this is. I don't know. Maybe a duck. Is it a duck? I don't know. But that was it for my buttons this week. And I'm dropping small buttons now. That was it for my buttons. And here I am back. So yeah, weird show, a strange show. I hope that you guys were able to see the buttons. I think you were. And I will be back next week because I found a bunch of 1960s patterns in the patterns that were misfiled. So I will be back to talk about those 1960s patterns. Plus, I have to see what's in the hat box of notions that I bought from Poshmark for some unknown reason. I think I scored 2. Thank you, Pamela. I mean, the button board will be done next week. I'll show it to you guys because I'm redoing it. It's sitting here right now. I'm going to finish redoing it today. But I'm posting on it only buttons that have super cool packaging, not any of these kind of like, I mean, because it's a white piece of paper. Like there's nothing about that's that fascinating. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. But now I have to go out and get the patterns that hopefully are not getting wet because it's raining. So until next week, I hope wherever you are that you're doing well. I hope the weather is treating you well. And until next week, stay safe and stay in the sunshine. Bye, guys.